Arigato here for owning in the garden, and we're going to start with the marigold, which looks like, well, it's been hit by death. It's pretty well dead. I have hopes that it'll come back once we have the spring thaw, basically, and so I'm not really doing anything with it right now. If it doesn't come back by itself, the seeds that it put out and put down should come back for it, which would be really, really nice. The oregano it doesn't care about the weather. Where it is right now, the house is warm and really, really warm, and it's doing just fine. So it means that I have to insulate the house better, but it means my oregano was coming out along very nicely. Over here, the peppers are surviving in direct proportion to how close to the house they are. You can see that one that's directly up against the house looks really good. Well, mostly. Anything that's further away from the house has some dead leaves and dead branches, and things that are far from the house, dead. So, yeah. The strawberry, though, has not been minding the temperatures too much. It's pretty good. That is daikon and carrots, and hopefully, I think those are daikon in there right now that are coming up. I do see some other stuff. It's got red leaves on it. I don't know if you can really see it, but it's right there. There's another one right up there. So, and then there's what looks like little bitty carrots all along there. So, it's moving. I don't know if it's moving very fast, and it is rather cool. Temperatures are not sub-freezing, but they are right around 35, 37 Fahrenheit overnight, and getting no higher than about 52 Fahrenheit in the day. So, it's cold. The asparagus, I need to water that specifically. It's been raining the last day and a half, 2 days, but the asparagus is far enough back that it doesn't get any of the rainwater, really. Same with the basil that's over there. I need to water it. It's doing okay because it's so close to the house. My radishes, or whatever they are, well, they're not flourishing, but they're doing okay. The strawberries that are in that bed are doing really well. The mucilin or muslin or whatever it is mixture that I put into that, at least I'm pretty sure that's what I put into that, is looking pretty good. I'm probably going to have to thin that out a little bit. That strawberry volunteer is doing quite nicely. The fern, it got hit pretty hard, but not so hard as to that it died. The tomato I cut and haven't pulled down yet. I really need to put this back into the compost, but I haven't gotten around to it. I've been lazy. Stuff in here. Because of the rain, this is very much so very damp, but it's doing quite nicely what is coming up at all. So I've got, I think those are more turnips or radishes or beets. I'm not sure which. And although there was that row, and there was a row there, and then there was a row there, only one set seems to have come up. Ooh, looking closely, that's probably a radish. And it's probably pretty close to being ready to harvest, actually. This mucilin mix, doing well. Definitely no complaints, other than the fact that everything in here tastes like mustard green. I mean, I'm not sure what this is. Some sort of a lettuce, obviously, but it tastes like mustard green. It's got fiery bite. And this, which I'm 99% certain is actually mustard green, has a fiery bite. And this, which I'm not sure what this is, but it's not mustard greens, has a fiery bite. So, yeah. I'm about 90% certain those are turnips. And they're starting to come in. I need to thin them a little bit, or at least spread them out, which is, you know, just fine. Over here, catnip. It's well protected, and it is well saturated right now. So it also benefits from the fact that it is so close to the house. Sounds like somebody's doing some shooting, but I can't be sure. All right, over here, blueberry. It's, well, it's hibernating, I think. And the blackberry is starting to get to the point where it's more easily trained. So I'm training it onto the, between the fence and the post on the one side and down the length of the fence in the other. I don't expect to get any fruit from that for another 2 or 3 years at least. But, you know, it's something. It's a start. As for the rest of the garden, let's take a quick look in the back. Or not. Like I said, it's been raining pretty good for the last 2 days. And there we go. And it's, my garden floods on a whim. So it's pretty heavily flooded right now. Ew, gross. And then with all the leaves falling down, the water is murky, mucky, and pretty much it'd be fetid swamp if it was any warmer. Got a lot of horse, I think that's horse herb. Yeah, if it's not, whatever. Ooh, feel sorry for that tarantula. There was a tarantula in that hole at one point. But obviously that is well drowned at this point. There we go. Dry spots. Don't you love them? Okay. So the chicken coop, not much been done with it. I didn't have as many pallets as I thought I did initially. And so just laid them out kind of. And promptly, well, about a week ago, I decided I want to move the chicken coop so that's over there. I'm following the design structure of one JT Bear up in, I believe he's in Manitoba, but he's got a YouTube channel, a great one, which I think I'll put in the description below. And yeah, he just put in a chicken coop himself. Well, just put in, good 6 months ago now. Just put in a chicken coop himself, and he's got himself a shed that had a spare side door. I have a shed that has a spare side door. He's using different building materials than pallets, but that is, no, never you mind. And it basically gives us the ability to extend the chicken coop out without having to build a fourth wall. Plus, with that wall as it is, I can just build an overhang directly off of it and have it be fairly easy to protect the chickens from nasty weather. Plus, with the door right there, I can just get into and out of the chicken coop without having to build a gate. So, yeah. All the lawn furniture is from a party we had about a week ago. In-laws came down a couple days after Thanksgiving, so. No, actually, that was 2 weeks ago now. Good grief. Oh, and look at this muck. That water is good 2 inches deep still, and you can just see that the water line was 2 inches deeper than that. So, Central Texas, we got ourselves a good chunk of rain. Just in the last 36 hours. The compost heap is mucky. Mucky, yucky, gross. But yeah, that's it. Pretty much it for the garden. Right now, it is second week of December, and it is cold. It's cold even here, so it's not really doing a whole lot. But talk to you all later.